Hello, this is national communism, whatever. I don't know why I named myself that. Who gives a shit? I thought I'd upload a video because, I don't look like a big enough rambling idiot to the world as it is. It's been a few years since I fucking uploaded one. The last one I uploaded was of a comedian sharing a point of view I agreed with. It was like 20 seconds long. You may ask why. Because I figured people probably got enough of me rambling into a camera with no music, video effects, porn to the video of any kind other than to rant, usually done in the dark. So I figured I'd fucking upload another video, but whatever. And I'm already getting sidetracked as I always do, and this video will suck. But this is basically my view on the direction of the world and what's wrong with it, and hopefully it's better than some of my other videos where I just go and sound like an idiot for 2.5 hours or whatever the fuck my length of my videos are. So let's get to this. First of all, let's talk about Trump. As you know, on the last video that I at least have up on my freaking page anyways, I pretty much said that I thought Trump would be a positive step forward for the country, and while, recently he's pardoning some criminals and he's done a few things, or he's said a few things, he seems to be making some progress with North Korea. He's pardoned some criminals, including a woman who was in jail for like 40-something years for cocaine, so he's making positive steps forward, but still I would say over the past 2 years that my decision to vote for Trump has largely been a failure. It was a mistake on my part, but I don't think Hillary would be any better, really. The only problem with Trump is he says what he'll do, as to where presidents in the past just kind of lie. Trump actually tells you, so if anything, that's a positive. But beyond that, basically, this is going to be on mostly WWE, like I said, but also on Miss America pageant. And the Miss American pageant, where they banned the bikini contest. Oh yeah, that's my dog in the background. Dog in the cares. That shit. Who cares? Listen. Basically, the Miss America pageant banned the bikini contest. Now, this is stupid on a number of levels. The ideal that some people might put forth as to why they did it, that you can't judge people by the way they look. And believe me, I would probably benefit from that. Not that it would apply to men, because, it's women's rights, equality for women. No, asshole, it's equality or you don't have equality. But the point is, it's stupid. Yeah, you shouldn't judge people by the way they look, unless it's a pageant, where the entire concept of the pageant is the way they look. It's a beauty pageant. Taking the beauty out of a fucking beauty pageant is insanity. I mean, like, why do I have to explain this to you motherfuckers? I mean, on every level it's patently absurd and insane. And again, it's sex negative, it's puritanical. It just goes back to, they don't like Christianity, and I understand that. Even though, again, I may not be as anti-Christian as I used to be on some level. There's definitely a lot of negativity in Christianity or in the Christian religion. But it also shows why they like fundamentalist Islam. And if you look at the entire country, what is the Islamic country they like the most? Saudi Arabia, probably the country that has the most to do with ISIL. That has or they call them asshole. But they have the most to do with ISIL terrorism, or the ISIL terrorists. They have the most to do with terrorist and fundamentalist activities. The Wahhabis is the founding philosophy and fundamental idea behind terrorism. They have the most, perhaps, to do with this, the attack on the World Trade Centers. And there's just a negative ideology all the way around. And that goes, and that takes you, and it's anti-women. And they believe women should wear burqas. So now the next step forward for women, the entire concept of women now is you get to choose your oppression. Will it be Islam? Will it be secular feminism, where they're telling you now to cover up, to be modest? These are the same idiots who are walking around with no top on, dyeing their armpit hairs and throwing tampons at fucking war monuments a fucking few years ago. Whatever. But now you get to choose your oppression. You're so free, you get to choose how you're not free. And modesty is creating a modest culture. It's temperance era. I've talked about the temperance era in the past. I'm not going into detail on it again because this is too long as it is. But you know what? Fuck that. Forget that. The Saudi Arabia part of this and the Islamic part of it takes me into, and not that all Muslims are bad. The majority of Muslims believe in peace. That they actually say, peace be upon you. And that's nice. That's nice. But it actually takes me into the next part of my fucking video, and that is WWE goes to Saudi Arabia after years and years of Stephanie slapping men, and after years and years of all the low blows on men, they never do a low blow on women, and after years of feminism and the female revolution and the woman revolution, and burying Zack Ryder and Eve Torres kicking him in the balls after she cheated on him, and the insane ass backwards storyline with Lana leaving and cheating on Rusev, where Rusev was supposed to be the bad guy, but he wasn't the bad guy, and the entire thing made no sense, and it made Ziggler look like a... First of all, it made him look like a cuckold, because he's pretty much saying it's okay that he's being used by this woman. But then, on top of that, second of all, he's also still fucking this guy's girlfriend, so it made no sense. It made Rusev look like the good guy, and Ziggler told Rusev to his fucking face when he had an injured leg, and Ziggler's supposed to be the good guy. I'll take out your good leg. And then of course he was healed by that point. He didn't lie about having the injury. He was healed. So like a badass good guy, he starts kicking when Ziggler doesn't look at. He hits him in the head with the fucking crutch, kicks the shit out of him, and I'm cheering it. And that's been a few years now. But the point is, it makes no sense. Now back to Saudi Arabia. They go to Saudi Arabia after years of subbing feminism up our ass. They go to Saudi Arabia, and they had no women on the show. No women. Now, supposedly they were all compensated. They were all paid as if they were on the show. I don't buy it, but maybe they were. But they don't put a single damn woman on the show after they subbed this shit up their fans' ass. Again, mostly men. Women aren't watching this shit. In fact, women watched it more in the Attitude Era. They're not watching this. Here is the freaking point of view I'm making. Here's the concept behind this. After many years of this, they do a show, Saudi Arabia, no women for money. And that's all it's about, money. That's all feminism is about, money. Remember Anita Sarkeesian and Gamergate? The entire thing was money. She took in thousands of fucking dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars from feminists to make a few videos about how video games are sexist against women. And she never made a single damn... And she made a few fucking videos, and then years and years went past, and she passed by, and she never made another fucking video. What happened to the money? But that's what these people are about. And these same idiots, like, there's this channel, What Culture Wrestling. It's an okay channel, I'm not shitting on the channel, they make good videos. But they're social justice warriors, they're pushing political correctness. And it's an insane, ridiculous ideology. It's this stupid and makes no sense. And the latest one was the Molly Holly character saying that, she was, because this is what they think, that no sex on the show. And part of it is I think some of these people are repressed homosexuals, and there's nothing wrong with being gay. But if you're gay, just admit it, and stop trying to tell straight men what we want to watch, because you don't know. But they can't do a bra and panties match or anything else. And Molly Holly was a uptight, prudish, pretty much feminist character. At that time, maybe more conservative. I'm not sure if they would have called her a feminist. And she even said she didn't really care. That's why she didn't like it. It was kind of a burial of her, even though she did get a title run out of it. But, but they push her. They're pushing this narrative of she should be a good guy. No, she shouldn't. That was bullshit. That's like TNA doing that and literally calling their fans perverts. And that was around 2011 when Russo was leaving. Russo was leaving the company, and ever since then, I said, fuck this shit. Like, literally, they had Karen Jarrett go out there cut an angle on the fans, calling them perverts because they like the bra and panties and stuff like that. After pushing that for years, by the way. So they condition you to like something, just like WWE did, and then tell you you're a fucking pervert. Just like this entire country has done pretty much to men. But no. And then they called her fat. No, they never called her fat. They said she had a fat ass. That's a big difference. One, because I don't think you should make fun of fat people because that's a disability. They didn't make fun of fat people, and they made fun of someone with a fat ass. Two, Trish Stratus had a fat ass. So it's not really personal, though she had more muscle tone. She was more muscular, but still pretty big ass. Three, Molly Holland's ass wasn't even that fat. And 4, no one ever killed themselves because they had a fat ass. They have because they've been called fat. No one called her fat. So, that's my opinion on that. But they're always pushing these feminist ideals, and anytime you try to push back with anything related to men, they come up with all this bullshit. And now you have this issue with these incel idiots. And the incel population. And now they're, they do what they do, okay? Largely beat off, live in basements, and shoot people, whatever it is. And I was warning about the fucking Elliot Rodgers. I've been warning about that for years. And they treat every issue the same. And part of it goes back to bullying. There is an initial problem in this country with bullying in these schools. And no one does anything about it until the shooting happens. And then what do? They blame guns. No, it's a mental health issue and it's a bullying issue. You want to stop it, stop that. You can get rid of all the fucking guns. It ain't gonna work because half these fucking guns are not supposed to have anyways, and you're just gonna create a huge illegal arms sale or illegal arms trade. That's all you're gonna do. But it's for WWE. They blow up 5 to 6 million viewers. The ratings are there. They basically told their fans to go fuck themselves. Now what do you say? ESPN accepts them and celebrates. ESPN does news award shows. They make documentaries celebrating wrestlers like Ric Flair. They did that great documentary, and it was a decent documentary. Fox Television gives them a $1 billion deal for SmackDown. They may go 3 hours. That's just what they need. Another hour of television, as if though these writers can barely write the shit they have. Let's have another hour of it. So what you see there is a hatred for the people by the establishment. Is a war on the people, especially men and especially the lower classes. And because they ignore the people, they are now celebrated by the establishment and they're rewarded. And there's even talk of an Emmy Award for the pile of shit these idiots turn out. And I don't even think Family Guy, that is still a good show. Fuck here. It's still a good show. After years, 20 years on television, whatever it's been, almost 20 years, 19 years of television, a few years they were canceled. Never got an Emmy. WWE might get a fucking Emmy. Not for the Attitude Era. Not for Austin and versus McMahon and the Ministry of Darkness and The Rock and Rock and Sock Connection and Mick Foley and Val Venus and all that great stuff. Bark Like a Dog, Trish. Oh, that was sexist. No, that was making Vince McMahon look like an asshole and making him a heel so Shane could come back and beat him up and everyone would cheer. It's a fucking story. It's a damn television show, you idiots. But they didn't get an award for any of that. No. They're getting a reward for this shit. And you're sitting there and you're trying to tell me that it's not a war on the people of the United States of America. And you're going to bring democracy to Syria and we can't even have a television show we like in this country? It's a fucking joke. That's all. P666.